If you're planning to shoot the Milky Way in April, don't just head out on the first clear night, because this month can fool you. The core is back, yes, but a lot of April is still not worth the drive. One part of this month is basically dead, one part is pretty decent, and 1 week is the week I'd actually drop everything for. So before you waste a clear night, let me show you the April dates that actually matter. April matters because for the first time in a while, the Milky Way starts becoming practical again in the evening sky. Not every night, not wide open all month, but just practical. You get more breathing room than those rushed early season sessions, and that means you can actually start planning your shots instead of just surviving them. I'm Matt Clark and you're watching Nightscape Odyssey. And if you want the full monthly shooting calendar, you can grab it from my website and I'll leave the link in the description below. And if these monthly Milky Way breakdowns help you plan smarter, subscribe, because from here the season only gets better and better. So here's the headline straight away. The first week of April is basically a write-off. Full moon lands on April the 2nd, and that kills the chunk of the Milky Way for Milky Way work. So for me, 1st of April to the 8th, I'm not building any shoots around that date whatsoever. That's your scout week. Clean your gear, check your locations, charge your batteries, but don't force a hero session just because the core is technically back. Technically visible and photographically worth it are not the same thing at all. Things start to breathe again around April the 9th to the 12th. This is where the month begins to wake up. Could you shoot it in a stretch? Yes. Would I call it premium? Absolutely not. This is your warm-up window. A local run, a test composition, a short mission to somewhere close, not the week I drive hours for. And that distinction matters because a usable night and a truly good night are not the same thing. Now here's the part that actually matters. April 13th to the 20th, that is the week. That is your money window, and that is the stretch I'll be watching like a hawk, because this is where April finally starts paying you back. No serious moon issues at all, longer dark sessions, and the Milky Way core that actually gives you the time to work compositions instead of rushing everything. So if the forecast is clear in that stretch, then that's when I would be moving my life around to get out. That's the trip week, and that's the week I would spend my fuel on, giving the fuel prices at the minute that are absolutely ridiculous. After that, you can still get a fallback. April the 21st to the 24th is still workable, but let's call it what it is. This is just a backup window, not a premium window, and it's not the hero week. And that matters because if the weather ruins your chances, this part of the month you can still get saved, because if you treat the backup dates like your prime dates, April will always feel more average than it really is. So in plain English, April the 1st to the 8th is practically dead. April 9th to the 12th, it's usable. April 13th to the 20th, that's your target week. And if all else fails, April 21st to the 24th, that is a good fallback or practice week. After that, returns start dropping off fast. That's the month. But the dates are only half the story, because if you go out on the right week, you can still get the wrong look. This is the part a lot of people don't think about enough. In April, the Milky Way core does not look the same all night. Early in the evening, it rises more on an angle, and then later in the evening, it stands up more upright. And those are two very different images and compositions. So the question isn't just when can I shoot, the question is what am I looking for and what am I chasing? Do you want the angled Milky Way coming up with all that energy, or do you want to stay out later and get that cleaner, upright look in your compositions? It changes your foreground, it changes where you stand, and if you don't decide that before you leave home, you end up trying to make those decisions out in the dark when you're tired. That is where average shots begin to happen. This is why April is such a good month. Not because every night is amazing, not because it's the peak season, it's because the pressure starts to come off. You get more time, more room to think, more room to test compositions, and more room to slow down and actually make better decisions. And honestly, that's when the better Milky Way images start happening. Not when you're racing around the clock, when you've actually got enough time to do the job properly. And if this is your kind of breakdown and it helps you stop wasting clear nights, hit that like button, because I'm happy to keep doing these Milky Way updates. Don't just say I'll head out sometime in April. Be specific. Because the people who come home with the best Milky Way images this month usually aren't the ones who are more motivated. They're the ones who pick the right week and match the right composition to the right part of the night. That's the game. Drop your target date in the comments and tell me whether you're chasing that early angled rise or the more upright core later on in the night. And if you want to keep improving your Milky Way shots, I'd recommend checking out this video next, wherever it shows up. Are you here, there, or there? But I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.